Good afternoon, dear students. This is here I am starting unit number 2, that is primary and secondary tillage implements. So here if you see, the first primary tillage implement is mold board plough. So mold board plough is a instrument or a implement which is used to plough the soil. So for why do we do ploughing? Ploughing refers to manipulation of the soil. So if you do a proper ploughing, the soil ploughing refers to manipulating the soil, which means the soil is in a favorable condition for crop growth and root development. So when you do the ploughing, the soil will get pulverized, and it favors the condition for sowing the seeds. If you do a proper sowing in a proper well tilled soil, the crop will get proper space, or what we can say, the soil will get, the crop will get proper root penetration. If a crop gets a proper root penetration, the plant will get proper growth and development. So considering these factors, we use ploughing. So in ploughing there are two methods of ploughing. So first one is primary tillage implements, which is used for ploughing. Secondly, secondary tillage implement, which is used for ploughing. So in case of primary tillage, the primary tillage implements such as moldboard plough or any disc plough, the name which ends with plough commonly comes under primary tillage implements. In case of secondary tillage implements, we use the term harrows or cultivators or rotavators, such things. But the name ends with plough comes under primary tillage implements. So primary tillage implements is mostly used for deep ploughing. Deep ploughing means manipulating the soil. So if a primary tillage operation has completed, we have to follow the secondary ploughing. Secondary ploughing can be done by secondary tillage implement, so that the soil will get a proper condition for growth and development. So in this video we will see about the moldboard plough. So moldboard plough is widely used in India for ploughing the soil. So in case of this is the structure of moldboard plough, and you can see moldboard plough. The main function of moldboard plough is to cut the soil, lifts the soil, turns the soil, and pulverizes the soil. So if you see this moldboard, the whole portion is not the working point. Just this black portion is known as share. This sharp point is known as share. This share is only the working portion which penetrates into the soil. But whenever it penetrates into the soil will turns into the moldboard plough, and this moldboard turns the soil. So this condition, we can see the performance just like cutting the furrow slice, lifting the furrow slice, and also turns the furrow slice. Then it pulverizes the soil. Pulverize refers to the destruction into minute, like powder like structure of soil. So these are the components of a moldboard plough. You can see share, as I already discussed, share is the working part of the full plough. Actually, share is the only working part, or working which penetrates into the soil, which cuts the soil. Second is the moldboard. Moldboard is used for turning the soil. So why do we use turning? If in case in such cases, if you see other tillage implements just like disc plough, its only function is to cuts the soil and leaves the residues beneath the soil. But in case of moldboard plough, you can see the weeds or any other trashes, it might be turns into the furrow slice, which is completely buried under the soil. If it gets buried under the soil, what will happen? The nutrients from the trash particles will be absorbed by the plants. But in case of disc plows or any other plows, the trashes means the harvested or leftover particles of the field will be left in the field. But in case of moldboard plow, the total waste or crop residues will gets completely buried under the soil. Next is the landslide. Landslide is mostly used for supporting the plow. Then the same thing is getting repeated. Share. It is the part of the plough bottom that penetrates into the soil and cuts the soil into horizontal direction below the soil surface. It is called share. It is a sharp, well polished and pointed component. And if you see share, there are many different types of share are being used under many different types of soil conditions. To first one, share point refers to the edge, top edge, and the cutting edge refers to the this side of the portion, and wing of the share is also attached, then gunnel. Then we can see the front edge of the share which makes horizontal cut in the soil is called cutting edge of the share. The outer end of the cutting edge of the share is called the wing. It supports the plough bottom. So moldboard is commonly used for ploughing the soil. It is the part of the plough which receives the furrow slice from the share. It lifts and turns and breaks the furrow slice. Different soil conditions require moldboard ploughs for varying shapes and sizes to carry a good job of ploughing. The texture of the soil, amount of moisture and extent of vegetative cover on the surface determine the soil pulverization. A long, gradual, curved moldboard turns the furrow gently and does not break the soil much. Short, abruptly curved moldboards twist and shear the soil and pulverize it. Moldboards are generally used fall between the two extremes of the conditions. So moldboards are made up of cast and iron. So these are the different types of mold board which is used for ploughing. You can see this general purpose we commonly use in general agriculture. Stubble is used for stubble refers to the as I discussed in earlier class, stubble refers to the land with the leftover particles of the previous crop means when we do the harvesting of any rice crop or wheat or barley or jawar or bajra, if you cut the plant, then the leftover particles will be under the field. So these leftover particles is known as stubbled land. So for ploughing we can use stubble bottom which is mostly commonly used, and also you can see slated general purpose. Slated is mostly, if you can see the moldboard here, there are some gaps between the slated is most commonly used in sticky soil means clay or wetty soils. So these are the different kinds types of mold boards which are used for ploughing.